Okay, so this training, when I was at convention, I had Bronze Academy. It's a special training you get once you hit the rank of bronze and you're a lifetime bronze with the company. And that is a day before convention starts. They have bronze and above in there, and they basically just pour into you. It's corporate training. It is fantastic. It is bronze is kind of, that's like the tipping point and the pivot in your business where things start to get really real. And because you're growing a team, but with that comes responsibility, and those responsibilities include presenting about the business. Now, with that being said, I was very, very inspired by the training that Kristen Wyatt did. She's been continuing to do that. I think she shared about this last week. It might have been where she did this training, and she's going to do it again. But this is all inspired by that. Kind of like when I went to my first regional event, learned that we weren't doing launch calls, and talked to Chandler, and literally like that week we started our first launch call with the team. So it's just another important piece of the business. And I want to share it with you guys so that you can all feel comfortable enough to do this as well. Oops. Present. This is not very pretty of a slide deck, but it does the trick. I'm just going to mute everyone real quick. And find me. Okay, so presenting, we talked about this a little bit on a call a few weeks back, on a team call that we did. And basically I asked you guys, why present? What is the goal of presenting Q? Of course, we all want to know about the company. We want to be able to talk intelligently about it. But what it comes down to is that we are presenting with the mindset of finding your next leader. That's why you do a presentation. It's not to share about the products. It's not to share about the company. It's not to share about, the comp plan, which those are all great things. We have to do it in a way though that's going to attract that next leader to come and join us in business. So we talked about this also. It's, first things first here. What does QIQ stand for? You're going to hear everyone say, oh, there's a QIQ presentation, or, an opportunity call. They're both the same things, but QIQ stands for basically your IQ for the Q business. It's very catchy like that. I just thought that we all learned that at the convention also. So like I said, why do we present? What's the goal? It's very simple. The goal is to find your next leader. So this is important to keep in mind while you're presenting, because you want to think about how you're going to weave into the presentation your story that talks about the things that a leader is going to care about. A leader cares about timing. A leader cares about aggressive innovation. A leader cares about mentorship and also collaboration with corporate. Like, that's brand new. A lot of companies do not do that in this space. You don't really find the president rubbing shoulders and like linking arms with leaders in the company. It just doesn't happen in a lot of places. So that's important. Global expansion is important. These are all topics that you will touch upon, like systems in place, making it duplicatable, all points that you will weave into your presentation. So make sure you keep that in mind as you're learning. It's more than just regurgitating what's on the slide. It's because people can read. So there's some slides that you will read, but we really want to make sure that the story you are telling just links back to all the reasons why a leader would want to join you. So with that being said, we have all kinds of people that show up on our calls, right? We've got from your mom to your best friend to someone you met at the grocery store. Like, we don't know. But if you think back to when you joined, or when you maybe got on your first call, if that is something that you did, like, what were you thinking? I know, like, a lot of people think this is crazy. It's a pyramid scheme, like all those things. Those are obviously things that come around too. But really, the person who's sitting on the other side of the computer They need to know, does this make sense? Can I do this? And will someone help me? So not only do we want to weave into the story of our presentation all the aspects that a leader is going to want to know, we also want to answer these questions. So if you can do these things effectively, then the people will come, you will attract them. And it will also, this doesn't just apply to presentations, but when you're talking like on a three-way call with a team, or if you are, you meet somebody at the park or wherever it is, and you start talking about Q, answering these kinds of questions for someone will really help them be better equipped to making a decision if this opportunity is right for them. So this is taken specifically from the presentation that we had. And I thought it was really good to kind of break it down. I've been on ops calls that have been very long. They're not fun to be on. Nobody has over 30 minutes to sit and just listen to kind of, I mean, people ramble. It happens. Opener, then we want to just keep it under 30 minutes for a time frame. And then there's the opening part. So it's the backstory and the product. And we're going to get into all of this later. You have your first testimony where you bring somebody in who is going to talk about the product side of things, and somebody who's going to come in and talk about the business side of things. It's also important that when we're presenting that it's not just all on us. We want to make sure we bring other people in, other perspectives, other point of view. It shows our prospects that we really do truly have a collaborative approach to the business, that it isn't just them that has to know everything all the time. Edifying here, we talk about this all the time at Q, edifying your next leader. Edify the next person who you're going to speak to on the call, right? Like whoever's coming on next, you want to edify them so that the people on the other side know who they're about to hear from. Then we've got the money speaker. So what this one means, and we don't really do this, there's two approaches to calls. You can lead the whole thing and bring in your two testimonies, or if you're new, for example, and you aren't really comfortable talking about maybe the comp plan, or maybe you're comfortable about talking about the comp plan, but not about the history and the backstory and the products, you can split off your operations call, your ops call, sorry, not operations, your opportunity call. And so you can reach out to your sponsor and be like, hey, I really want to do one of these, but I am not comfortable with the whole things. Can you split it with me? So then most likely you would come in and do the beginning part, and then you'd edify your upline or your sponsor or whoever it is to come in and do like the money talk and to close everything out. And then here, the last part, what's next? This is very, very important. We'll talk about it in the slide. It's so easy to just be like, okay, the call's over and thank you, goodbye. But that's never how we want to end a call. We want to set clear expectations with our listeners and our prospects, that they know what's going to happen as soon as they do hang up off the call. So I'm going to talk about each of the slides. So you guys can take some notes here if you want, or just listen, either is fine. But the first slide is your introduction. This is everyone's first chance to see who they're about to hear from and maybe why they would want to hear from you. Or the other way to look at this too is who is your target audience? Like for me, the stay-at-home mom and somebody who doesn't want to go back to corporate, that's my target audience. So I'm going to include that on here because that's something that's relevant to me. And so somebody sitting on the call would be thinking, hey, that's the same for me. Like she can do this. That means I can probably do this too. So think about what your points are and wrap it around and tie it into who you really are trying to attract in this business. You don't have to have a rank to do a presentation. You can keep that part out. You can talk about it. Honestly, it doesn't matter. The only people that understand what that means is the people who are already ambassadors. So you can go back and forth with that. But as far as the picture goes, it has to be you. It has to be your face. It has to be you and your dog if you're a dog mama. It has to be you and your husband if it's just the two of you. Include your kids. We want people to be able to for us to, so they can, oh gosh, what word am I looking for? I'm just going to skip that because I can't relate. They want to be able to relate to us, and they only can do that if they see a human, right? See a bunch of products here, they don't relate to that. All right, the second slide. This goal of this slide is just to create credibility. We do not need to go into all of the facts about where we came from, how we started in 2012, and then this happened, and then that happened, and we sold here, and we did this, and we did that, and now we're here, and none of that is important. Nobody cares about that, just being totally honest. Nobody really cares about that. What people care about is that they are joining a company that has a few things that are very important to think about when you're joining a network marketing company. One is that you're in global expansion, 23 countries and growing. Perfect. Second thing, cutting edge technology. You've seen that. We've been doing that. We keep putting out products that are at the forefront of technology, and that even new verticals that nobody is doing yet. And then finally, what kind of growth are we having? Well, very substantial. And there it is. So this slide seriously could be like less than 20 seconds. Keep it short and sweet. This would be one that you could just read through real fast. Now this slide goal, it's not about what you know. I don't know if you can see this. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So as you guys start to grow in this business, you will come up and you will develop your own personal stories regarding these two men on the slide. Example, I went to convention. I was actually able to meet both of them. They're both fantastic human beings. I have a very embarrassing story about meeting Jake Spencer. But it's my story and it's real, and it's what happened. So if you have a personal story here, you share it. If you don't have a personal story, that's fine. This is also not the slide where we go over their resume. Like, it's great that Mark Wilson played on the Raiders and that he had, 2 Super Bowl rings and that he did this and then that and that, but that's not what's going to make somebody want to join us in business. What's going to make somebody want to join us and these two men right here is to share their heart into why they're doing what they're doing. So yeah, you can touch upon it, but with Mark Wilson, ultimately he realized that he did not want to just be golfing every day. He wanted to make an impact in his life. And he had done it in so many ways already, but with his success in football and with his success in commercial real estate, but that wasn't enough. And he knew that he knew he was made for more. So he started this business with Q Sciences. That would be how you would talk about Mark. And then with Jake, it's really like a power statement you can use here is that this guy right here, Jake Spencer, he comes with over a decade of experience in this industry doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So letting people know that this guy, he knows what it's like to be in our shoes. He's been here before. He's coming in with all the knowledge to help us really be able to be successful and to bring this business to other people in a way that they're going to know that once they join, they can do this as well. So this is all about just sharing who these two men are. And you can also add as well that we are owned by these two people. We do not have a board of directors. It is these two men right here who make all the decisions as to like where we're going with the company. All right. The suite of products. I think most of us probably on this team are educators. I know that I consider myself to be an educator. I'm a leader too, but like I geek out on this stuff. I want to know everything. I want to know all the ingredients. I want to know why these ingredients. I want to know what it's going to do for me. I want to know all the things, but that's word vomit when it comes to this slide. So what we want is we want to give people enough information on this during this presentation that they're going to come back to us with questions. And the only way to do that is less is more. So Jake talks about this a lot as far as like from a leader standpoint, really. And even Francesca talks about it, and Brittany, like they will tell you, they know we have products, they know they work, but they don't know much more beyond that. They know that it's safe. They know that it's affordable. And people who are listening to us talk about this, they want to know if we like it. Like, what do we like about these products? What are they doing for us? So we can talk about the fact that we have new verticals that we launched in health and wellness, that we have a full spectrum hemp line that's just very effective. We have the sublingual sprays, which are very effective because of the delivery method, that we have a full line of natural supplements and nutraceuticals we have basically everything from your dog to help your dog to your grandparent. And so the part to leave people with on this one is to let them know that, and this is true for me, I have never had to, and I have a lot of customers, you guys. I've never had to turn somebody away. I've never had to say, I don't think we have a product for you. There literally is something for everyone. And that is the point to hit on this slide. Typically after this slide is when you will bring in your testimony, and we'll talk about that later. But after the testimony, we want to talk about this man right here. This guy is freaking amazing. I can't wait for you all to meet him. He is so cute. Like, put him in your pocket. Cute man with his lab coat. He just looks official when he's up there telling us, you know, that when he speaks, you want to listen to him. So instead of like regurgitating all of the things that he's done here, we really want people, because they can read, right? The slide comes up, people start to read it even before you start saying it. If you're going to read the slide, we want people with this slide to understand that if they join Q Sciences, they're joining a company that is constantly innovating and has standards that are so high that we can only have the name science in our name because we have a doctor on staff, Dr. Stephen Kimberly, and also that Q stands for quintessential, which is best of the best. That is what we want to share with people. We want to share that this man is the gatekeeper and the reason why we have science in our name, and that we're basically a science-based company that creates supplements. That's amazing. That's not normal. The normal is it's lab created by some people who say, hey, let's do this. They slap a couple ingredients on there and they go from that, and then they put it on the shelf. But since he believes that science doesn't stand still, he's constantly innovating all of our products. He'll pull something off the shelf and he'll make it better. That's what he does. So again, this one it's not about the fact that he's a doctor, board certified doctor and a naturopath. All that's great. And it's great that he was a former editor for WebMD, but why does he do this? It's because he has a servant heart. It's because he wants to bring products to the people that will help them live the best version of their lives. And he does that through constant innovation and because he has very high standards because of his resume. And then these two slides here. Okay, so we get to the nitty gritty. People are like, all right, I want to join. Share with me how I do all the things. How do I join? And when it comes to these slides also, the goal obviously is to attract your next leader and to hopefully sign on a new ambassador. So we want to let them know it's very simple. It's $39.95. You get everything you need to run your business. With that said, your all-in investment with your products is about $200 because you have overhead of your own products that you've got to buy in order to be successful in the business. And then, and that's really it. You have your e-commerce site and you leave it at that. The next slide talks about retaining your customers. And this one is super important. It's important because if you've got somebody coming on and they're thinking, okay, I totally want to do this. I know that I'm going to need customers to be successful as well. What does Q Sciences do to make sure that they are helping retain customers from products? And so here you can throw out some data. You can say we've got like an 84% retention rate for our products. That's very high. It just shows the efficacy of our products and that they work. You can tell them we do everything in our power to retain our customers because they are the bread and butter of this business. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be here today. So we give them a reward system where they can earn free product. They also get dedicated customer support and have order management. They get the same discount I do as an ambassador, which is wholesale pricing. And then we believe in our products so much that we provide a zero risk 100% money back guarantee, bottom of the bottle, if they don't like it or it doesn't work for them within the month. And it's because we really believe that what we have here is special. Usually after that slide, nope, keep going, never mind. This next one, so ways to earn. Keep this one simple. It is so easy to just want to share everything about the comp plan because it is like nothing else. It's the most generous comp plan. It's one page, all the things. But what you want to do here is let people know that we have 4 ways to earn. Even use your hands. Kristen says, even use your fingers. 4. People are visual. They're going to see you hold up your hand and be like, all right, 4, and they'll remember that. You've got customer sales. That's exactly what it sounds like. People come to your e-commerce business website and they buy from you. You've got the weekly team commissions, which is, I think, why everybody is here. You say on this call right now, you want to build and grow a team, and we're going to help you do that in a way where you're going to earn a weekly paycheck. And it is also a set commission that you get every month. So you hit a volume, you get paid this. There's no guessing, there's no averages. It's set, and that is very unique and special to us too here. And then the one-time rank bonuses, that's your third way, or your third way. And then finally, if you're in the US, you have the financial freedom movement. Then you can even point out down here, and these are just some of our ranks and some of the examples of what you can make with our set monthly commission and also the bonuses. Going into this slide for the financial freedom movement, this is where all of us by this time should have had their first meeting with their coach. If you have not had your first meeting with your coach, send an email to them today, ffm@qsciences.com. Start that process, because when you are presenting this, you want to be able to give your personal experience as to how this program has helped you. Has it helped you shift your mindset about money? Has it helped you eliminate debt? Has it helped you increase your credit score? Has it helped you create a budget? Has it helped you build retirement or a savings plan? Like, what have they done for you that you can share? Because anything that makes this relatable and personable lets them know that, hey, they really care, right? So that's for this one. I always say, tell your guy's name. Like, my guy is Adrian. Like, share a story about a meeting you had with them, just to let them know like how cool it is that this company does something like this. All right, system that works. So the slide goal here is to be transparent. And one thing that we want to let people know as we're weaving through, so taking a step back, when you have somebody come on as the business testimony, I'll share with the group a template that Kristen had. And it basically is just you want to make sure that in that testimony, they're sharing the fact that they have mentorship, they have training, that they're not doing this by themselves, that the community here is fantastic, that they really have had everything that they've needed to be successful from day one, because that answers the question of, will someone help me? So many times people join these things, or they hear about them and they're off on an island and they don't have any help. And that's not how it works here. So we want to tell them we have a very simple onboarding and training process. This is a slide you can read, because these are very important points, especially to a leader. You have access to leaders and mentors. You can give an example of how we're getting trained on recruiting from one of the top 3 earners in our company. Like, that's special. We have plug and play systems. You earn before you learn here. It is not about, you do not have to know everything when you join. You have an upline, you have support, and they will help guide you through the process. It's part of what makes this business so different, because we act as a place where we're serving our team. It's not about me getting to the next rank. It's about my team lifting themselves up to a place where they're winning. And then by nature, everything floats up to the top. I don't have to focus on me. I can pour into my team. And then we give you all the tools you need to start now. So what happens next? This is the last slide. So this is the part where we just tell them flat out, this is what's going to happen. We're so happy you're here. Again, it's because the person who invited you saw something special in you and knew that this opportunity could potentially be very life-changing for you and your family. So they're going to follow up with you. Probably as soon as we get off this call, they're going to pick up their phone and give you a call or send you a text. We're going to want to know, what did you think? And then we're going to get you connected. If you're not ready at this moment, you need more information, let us connect you with somebody who can answer those questions for you. And we will do that. And what you're going to see in that process is you're going to experience and watch the system in action. So thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to have had this opportunity to present Q to you, and look for that message from the person who invited you. And that's how you end the call. And then I'm going to stop sharing in a second, but basically it's your turn. We learn by doing. You're not going to learn how to do this if you don't do it. You're not going to learn how to do this if you don't let yourself be scared, because it's scary presenting for the first time, but we're all here for you. Even if the first time you're presenting and it's just to your team, it doesn't matter. Like, just present, start talking about it, because I'm telling you, and we have Hope on our team. She started presenting and her business immediately took off. Chandler, when she started presenting, her business took off. There is proof in the pudding here, you guys. And so it's really just your turn. And I'm encouraging all of you to really just get out and just start doing it. So I can't wait to see all of your op calls to be happening soon. I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm also going to